This is crazy. Okay. Who are you? You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this. Hey guys, and welcome back to Talking Creatively, where we do something artsy and I talk about whatever comes to my mind. I'm Gayla Sirks, and today we are switching it up. Okay, so the reason that we're switching it up is because I'm going to talk about weight loss. I'm going to talk about my journey and where I'm at. I am definitely post-op, and it's been a long journey. But we're here, and I'm going to talk to you about it. And you know what? So when I watch these types of things, I start to get frustrated because I'm like, okay, in the thumbnail, I see these before and after shots, but they're never included in the video, and you don't really get a good feel for it, and you're just like staring at the before and after thumbnail, trying to see, and that's frustrating. So although I don't necessarily feel 100% comfortable showing my before, the tragic before, I'm still gonna do it because I mean, it's a part of everything. It's the journey. So let's get into it. So when I started this, I have my notes down here because your girl, she can't keep it straight most of the time. Okay, let's just start here. I have not been overweight my entire life. I have been pretty, I don't want to say normal. I've been at a healthy weight since I was a kid up until I want to say I finished high school. And that's when things slowly started changing in the weight department for me. I don't know why, but I just started, well, at the time, I didn't know why, but I just started having struggles with not necessarily overeating, because I've never been an overeater. Even at my heaviest weight, I never like overate. I had healthy portions. It's just, well, I found out later why. But like I said in the beginning, I did not know. As it started, I used to diet all the time. I would like try and restrict what I had, how many calories I had, and sometimes it will come off, like maybe 15 pounds here, maybe 10 pounds there, but in the end I'd end up gaining it back and then some, and I found myself creeping up to the 200. I was a little shocked at that because I was always active. I didn't have a car, didn't have a license. Ooh, exposure. I didn't have a car, and I walked everywhere. So, and I biked sometimes just for the fun of it, I guess. So it wasn't really that big a deal. And let me just tell you, your girl looked good with the weight on her. Well, that amount of weight on her. I was thick in the right places. I had something back there and everything. And I actually liked the way I looked, and it's not like I struggled to get any attention. It wasn't my physical looks that struggled for me to get the attention. It was my personality. But that's besides the point. The point is, I didn't mind it. I liked the way I looked. I just didn't like the number. It was just a little disheartening when each year became my heaviest, if that makes sense. Like, each year that went by, I probably gained like 10 pounds, and I would just keep saying like, oh, this is my heaviest. I need to lose the weight. I need to lose the weight. Ugh. I was overweight for medical standards, but realistically, I was fine. And I still looked pretty thin, even though I was creeping over 200 pounds. I want to say around 22, 23, I was in the like 215, 220 range. And again, it didn't look terrible on me at all by any means. I just looked thicker than a Snicker in the best way. I was fortunate enough at least. But I still didn't like the fact that I had the weight on me. I didn't like the fact that it made me feel self-conscious because, again, it wasn't what I was used to. And then eventually, after getting married, I went to the doctor because I wanted to conceive. And they diagnosed me with PCOS. Now, at that time, it was like 260, something like that. So the weight had, again, crept up. And when I tell you I used to diet and exercise, it wasn't consistent because I would get discouraged and I would just stop when the weight wouldn't go anywhere. So I would like lose 15, 20 pounds, and then I would never lose more than that. I've not once until recently lost more than that. And I didn't understand why. I was doing all the things that I believed were right. I followed different guidelines. I even tried, well, I couldn't afford a personal trainer, but I talked to one and had like one private session, and they gave me like a whole plan. I tried diets that were unhealthy and healthy. I went vegan for 5 months. I just couldn't keep, it's not that I just couldn't keep the weight off, because I could keep the 20 pounds off. It just wouldn't go beyond. And if you have ever experienced that, it's literally so frustrating. If you haven't, kudos or lucky for you, because it's not fun and it's very discouraging, and it makes you just want to say, forget it and eat any and everything that you want. I've been there many a times. I know. But anyways, so when I was diagnosed with PCOS, though, it was really disheartening because, like I said, I wanted to have children and we were trying, and it just wasn't working. And for those of you who don't know, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, or something like that. And what it is where you there's different variations of it, and not every woman is affected by it the same way. But for me, what it did was it caused me to have trouble losing weight. My testosterone levels were a little elevated. My eggs did not develop either. So I just think I didn't have any. That's where the cyst and the cystic comes from, because they just don't develop and they become cysts. But it's something that I found out within that first year of being married. And I mean, we struggled with it. We still tried. We tried other options. But I decided, like, a year and a half into the marriage, I decided I was going to try and get surgery, the gastric surgery. And I wanted to do the sleeve because the bypass was kind of scary to me. So I set up to do this surgery. I spoke with the surgeon. I went through all the appointments, but I was having trouble when it came to the doctors. You need doctor clearance in order to get the surgery and approval from insurance. And there was a lot of things that I was supposed to do, and my doctors kept changing. I don't really want to go into like a lot of details as to why, but it was not uncommon for my doctor to change. Each time it changed to a different doctor, they pretty much started me over again until I was just like, you know what, forget it. Let me just go ahead and try to go back through the process of metformin and trying to get pregnant again. Although I was overweight and I did not necessarily want that. I think at this point I'm considered obese, not quite severely obese, probably by medical standards, but it didn't look like it. It really didn't. I didn't look like, I mean, I was big, but I didn't look like I was morbidly obese, if that makes sense. 260, 270, it's a huge number, but it just, I don't know. Most people said that I didn't look like I weighed that much. I think I did when I look back on pictures, but at the time, most people were like, oh, you don't even look like you weigh that much. After the giving up on that, we ended up moving across country, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe children, it should be put on hold. Let me try again on this process. So I set it up. I set up the appointments, and I got the paperwork. I got the referrals, and I did not fill it out. I did not fill out the paperwork. I started it, and then I was just like, oh, I don't know. I struggled to make the decision because of those thoughts of, oh, this is the easy way out. And I could do it on my own, which clearly I couldn't. I've been trying to do it on my own for 10 years. So clearly that's not an option for me. It was an option. It just wasn't working. I had to come to terms with that, and eventually I did. But at this point, I had one friend go through it, and my other best friend was starting the process too. But I started working, and issues came within the relationship realm. So then I don't know what that was. So then I quit, and I focused on the relationship. I focused on my health, mental and physical, and I again tried to lose weight, working on my writing, diverted all my attention to areas I felt like I really needed to focus on. In 2020, November of 2020, I again came to terms with everything, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start this again. I really need this. At this point, like, again, I became my heaviest. And when I started seeing that scale, oh, child. Woo chile. Why did I do that? Okay, no, seriously. April of 2020, I tried to do the workouts, try and get the weight off through diet and exercise. I mean, it worked to the point where I was almost 300 pounds, and I think I actually was 300 pounds, and then I lost 15. So then I got to 285, and you couldn't tell me nothing. I was feeling myself, dancing to songs in my living room because I felt so good about losing that 15 pounds. I was like, ooh, she looking good. Not everybody would have had that same opinion, but I did, and that's really what mattered. But I felt really good about it. But then again, it did not go beyond that amount, and it started to go up and down, but never exceeding the 15 pounds. And I reverted went back to everything else that I normally do, and the weight came back. And I was trying for like a few months to get it beyond 15 pounds, and it just wasn't working. So again, in November, I filled out the paperwork this time and I submitted it. And I think I spoke with them in like the surgeon's office in December, and they set up my first appointment for January 19th of 2021. I was excited. I don't know. I just really felt good about it. I researched surgeons near me and tried to find one that I felt comfortable with in what they were saying, how transparent they were with like how long they've been practicing, if they lost any patients and stuff like that. And I happened upon my surgeon, who honestly love her in the sense of what she was able to help me with. Super sweet, super kind, and very, very strict. You understand me? Like, I did not understand the level of strict that she was going to be until I experienced it. And like, I knew my friends' journeys. I knew what they had to do prior to the surgery. It was nothing like what I had to go through. And every surgeon is different. Every process is different, and their requirements are different. And I get that. And everybody's body is different, and how they react to things is going to be different. But it was night and day. I've not heard of anybody else's process being as strict as mine was, but I'm very grateful for it because it helped me get past some milestones. So she's made me start on a diet immediately. I think I started the diet 2 days before I went to my appointment. I may have lost 5 pounds, but I was not doing it right at all. I thought I was doing it correctly, but I quickly learned in that appointment I was not. I was eating more than I should have, and I just didn't understand the level of which I was supposed to kind of cut certain things. I felt good coming out of that appointment. I felt like I was heard and understood about my journey and my struggles, and I did not know that everybody what the heck is happening? I did not know that everybody had, like, from what she explained to me, you have a threshold of which your body stops losing weight because it gets used to whatever it is that you're doing, and it's hard to kickstart the weight loss again. And she's like, everybody has a number. Do you know your number? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I can't get past 20 pounds. It's always been 20 pounds. And then I gain like that and then some when I just kind of give up on it. Starting the diet, it was very easy for me to lose the 20 pounds. I think I lost that in like the first 3 weeks of the diet. Yeah, I lost the 20 pounds and then it stopped. I wasn't going to go into like what the diet was, and I won't go into like a lot of details about it, but I'll tell you what I was able to do, which was I didn't normally eat breakfast. So she told me don't add in breakfast if that's not what you're used to, because you're going to gain weight because it's an extra meal that you didn't have before. I replaced one of the 2 meals with half a protein shake, and then I had dinner. I've normally ate smaller portions anyway, so those first few days were rough. I was hungry. I was waking up in the middle of the night. I've never woken up from hunger pains until then, and luckily it stopped after 2 days, but I never wanted to experience that again. It was so bad. I got used to the diet, and when I did stop losing the weight, once I got to the 20 pounds, she just told me like to, how to switch it up. Then the weight started coming off again. Now, mind you, I needed to start exercising immediately. That was what she said. exercise, do what you can. And I did. And I am kind of one of those people who, once I have guidelines, it's easy for me to follow it. And once I make it up in my mind that I'm going to do something, I usually do it. Because I was still seeing results, I stuck to it. I realized that the only reason why I never could stick to anything in the past is because when the results stopped happening and months would go by without any, it was just the discouraging factor. So I ended up, throughout all of this, finding out I had sleep apnea, which prolonged the whole process for me because with my insurance, it was pretty quick and easy to get the surgery. It was frustrating looking back on the previous, or 2 years ago, when the doctors were making it a little difficult for me to do this. Literally, it felt like it could have happened like within a month and a half of starting the whole process, which is technically true if I did not have sleep apnea. But because I did, that was a whole nother process, working with this company, which frustrated and infuriated me beyond belief. But I got it, and it prolonged the process by 3 months because I started my diet January, or I had my consultation January 19th of this year, 2021, and my surgery was May 24th of 2021. In between that time, with diet and exercise, I lost 70 pounds as of the day of my surgery. From my heaviest at 307 to my surgery weight, which was 237. I struggled like throughout the 5 months because I was losing so much so quickly. I was like, well, should I even go through with it? A couple of friends also had that thought. It's like, well, why would you go through with the surgery if you're losing the weight? And speaking with my surgeon, the amount that I was losing and the way that I was losing it, the diet wasn't meant to be like a forever type of diet. It wasn't meant to be on for a prolonged period of time. And if I were to continue with that diet, it would have been detrimental to my health. My surgeon also explained to me that she's had patients who tried to do it on their own and they eventually gained the weight back and come back to her to restart the process. I've been struggling on this journey for so long. I did not want to have that risk of just it not happening. So, and I think I questioned that when I got down to 250. I was questioning whether I should have the surgery. But, you know, my hunger was starting to come back. I started to struggle with the diet here and there, giving into temptations that I knew I didn't need to or shouldn't have bothered trying. So I knew realistically I would have become one of those people who would lose quite a bit of weight, gain it back. And so in order to prevent that from happening, I went through with the surgery. I am 13 days, no, I think technically I'm considered 14 days post-op. I've lost an additional 10 pounds. Now I'm 225 as of this morning. I think I weighed myself at 225.8. And I feel good. I have a lot of energy. I've been working, like the whole workout thing in this entire process. I loathed working out. I would try and find all these different ways to work out without feeling like I was working out. I love to dance, so I was like, Zumba's my jam. At the Dance Central games, I just hated working out. But walking was nice. I liked walking, and I did that a lot. And then I tried Miss Chloe Ting. Hated her, but loved her at the same time. I mean, I loved her after the workout and before the workout. I didn't like her during the workout. And I wanted to get to a point where I did enjoy it. And eventually it got to the point where I just didn't feel accomplished, or I felt like I was missing something out of my day if I didn't do it. But now I started going to the gym. Yes, only 2 weeks post-op, already going to the gym. Actually, I started going to the gym work. I think I started going to the gym like on my 10th day post-op. Yeah, something like that. Because my surgeon said I need to work out my extremities, not my core. Obviously, I can't do that until 1 month. But I've been going to the gym and I've really been liking it. Like, I look forward to it, and I prefer working out in the morning, and I'm kind of sad that I can't this morning. Then I'm gonna take myself to the gym and I'm gonna feel good and I'm gonna like it, and I'm excited and I can't wait to do it. And then I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. Who are you? When did you become this person? I don't know. It happened and I'm happy about it. Okay. All right, girl. You ain't gotta yell at me. Mind your business. I'm never gonna change. I'm never gonna change. And that's a good thing. Well, you know, this is a longer video. You want more videos like this and me talking about my journey and the weight loss? Well, I guess I gave you the journey, but if you want more videos about like what I'm doing as far as my workouts, how I'm eating, let me know. No one comments on my videos because, I mean, there's still only 5 people watching, and that's cool. That's fine. That's fine. It's cool. It's cool. I appreciate all 5 of y'all. And I'm gonna say that in every video, even if I end up with 6, because I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Please hit the like button, share it, give it a comment or 2, but just come back. I'm gonna post an old video that I recorded like 2 months ago, and I didn't edit it because I felt some type of way when I watched it back, and I was like seeing all of this hanging while I was painting like this. It's this painting right here, but I'm gonna still post it. Look out for it. I don't remember what I was talking about, but we'll find out together. All right, guys, I'll check y'all next time. I don't remember what I say at the end of this, but bye.